It's not fun to do a cold plunge. So I get it. I get you why you're out there thinking, I'm never going to do that. The
Person
inhaler is
included, man.
easy, but it ends up not being as effective. And that's the crappy part is when you really need it
Mhm.
and the medication starts to fail for you. And that's what's scary.
So there's something to this breathing thing.
Oh, yeah. Next, enhances
Ah.
sleep quality, reduces snoring.
Oh,
This was a study on mouth taping, which then and helped improve nasal breathing, which significantly reduced snoring frequency and duration in habitual mouth breathers. We're going to talk about mouth tape and nasal strips here towards the end.
love that. Yeah, you have a lot of experience with some of that stuff.
I love
I
it.
did a little bit
I
myself.
might start
Game
with
changer.
breath or with mouth tape here in the future. I still love my nose strips.
I've never
That's
done the
been
mouth tape.
never, yeah.
I naturally can have my mouth just closed. I feel like closed through the whole night and just breathe through my nose, but it depends on if I'm clogged in the
The only
sinuses
thing
or
for
not.
me is I do have a tough time still breathing through my nose, even though I have the strips. And
Yeah,
I'm worried that if I end up, because sometimes my nose strip will fall off, and
yeah.
so I'll have to rely more on my mouth. But if I can't breathe out of my mouth, I'm going to wake up suffocating, which I've done before
Oh no.
when
Wow.
I get too close to my pillow.
Gotcha.
So I can't breathe in my pillow and I'm suffocating.
Oh.
So I could foresee that being an issue if I don't figure out how to keep my nose passage open.
And I'm sure you're not the only person on that.
Yeah. But I am excited because I do think mouth tape just basically takes away your ability to try to breathe through your mouth. And we know just how tough that can be on our health as
Mhm.
chronic mouth breather, knowing what that does, how we can improve that with nasal breathing. Next, mild CO2 retention. So we talked
Mm.
about hypercapnia.
Yep.
So this was the part of the Bateca breathing where you're holding your breath and your nose, and it's causing an increase in CO2, mild increase in CO2. And what it does is it kicks oxygen off of your hemoglobin and it allows you
In
to
your blood.
utilize the oxygen finally. It's called
Mhm.
the Bohr effect. So mild CO2 retention, improved oxygen unloading via the Bohr effect, stabilized neurocognitive performance under simulated stress in Navy divers. This is called an
Mhm.
apnea drill, also known, well, similar to a CO2 tolerance.
Yeah.
Apnea drill, I believe, is where you hold your breath and you just walk as long as you can. And
Interesting.
you'll see towards the end of like how much more difficult it is for you. It's funny. It's funny to see.
I wonder how they even. I wish I would look this up. How, if you guys know, obviously you can look it up, ChatGPT or Google or whatever, on how this even came effect.
Right.
Like, who in their right mind would start thinking about sick in their mind? Who would holding your breath and doing as much exercise as walking as
Yep.
long as you can? Do they measure? Is that what the distance then?
I don't know. I'd have to
Traveled?
look. But what I do
I
know
think that was
is
the case.
these
Or
Navy
time.
divers said that their focus, like in high stake environments,
Mm-hmm.
just upregulated just by
Makes
practicing
sense.
more mild CO2 retention exercises.
And then if you're in that stressful state, could you challenge yourself in like thinking challenges, like cognitive
Yep.
challenges, as you're in that stressful state? So once you're in it, you don't become panicked
Yep.
and whatnot, which makes sense. Very smart.
Yeah, I haven't practiced a lot of mild CO2 retention before. So that's what I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to start practicing when I'm doing my breath work. I'm going to see if that makes a
Mm-hmm.
difference.
I know I have done some elevation training mask work, which we got to get you in for a session there. I took
I
Corey
know I haven't
away.
done yet.
It's incredible. I use it for when I was playing college soccer. It's pretty much a mask that you put on your nose over your mouth, which you can change how much oxygen comes in through the mask. So it almost mimics if you're in a higher elevation state, depending on how much oxygen is limited coming in the mask, whether it's 5,000 to 12,000 feet elevation. It's very challenging. It almost forces you to focus on the exhale breathing after you go through a bout of effort. Depends on the intensity, of course. And then once you're able to control and lower your breath after that intensity, get back to baseline, go and do the effort again, and then re regulate back. So it's almost like you're pushing boundaries